Thank you, Marcus. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Energy Workforce Equity Portal training. My name is Megha Hamal, and I'm the Senior Communications Manager here at the IPA. I want to quickly go over the housekeeping items, and then we will begin the portal training. If you could mute yourself to avoid any background noise, that would be great. If you're joining by mobile, please, if you could mute yourself, that would be great. We will open up the forum for Q&A towards the end. We will allocate about 10 minutes for the Q&A. A recording of this training will be available on the IPA website under Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion page. The Equity Portal, which was launched on January 31st, 2023, is designed to help connect clean energy companies that are participating in the Illinois Shines program and utility scale developers with equity eligible persons looking to work in the clean energy industry. Making these connections is a key aspect of ensuring that the clean energy industry in Illinois grows in an equitable manner. This particular training will provide a tour of the portal website and how clean energy companies can register themselves on the portal, post jobs, how to look for the EEP's list. This training will not be discussing any specific items under minimum equity standard compliance. Items specific to minimum equity standard compliance have already been covered in educational webinars by the IPA on March 13th and March 31st. And the recordings and the presentations of minimum equity compliance are featured on our new landing page called Minimum Equity Standard on the IPA website. And I've also provided the link to the Minimum Equity Standard landing page here in this presentation. With that, I want to introduce our trainers for today. Our first trainer is Sarah Duffy, IPA Deputy Legal Counsel, and Marcus Amos, IPA IT Generalist. Both of them have been crucial in launching this equity portal. So with that, I want to give the floor to Sarah. And Marcus, if you want to maybe go to the equity portal website, which is like the next link. Next slide, sorry. One more. No, not that one. One more. Yep, right there. Thank you.
Thanks, Megha. So as Megan noted, we're going to give a short tour of the site and kind of go over how people who are participating in our programs or who would like to participate and how job seekers can both use this to access the clean energy sector in Illinois. So this is the landing page. As you can see right at the top, we have two different options. If you are a company in the clean energy sector and you are looking to employ equity eligible persons, you would click on the For Employers button. If you are a person looking to find a career in the clean energy sector, then you would go to For Job Seekers. There are a few other resources on here as well, so let's just go over those before diving into those specific pages. So just on the landing page, we have some general information about the purpose of the portal and the audience, the history of its development. If you scroll down, we also have just some background on the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act. And again, for those that aren't familiar with it, this was the law that passed in 2021, which created these requirements that this minimum equity standard that this portal is meant to support. And it also created the or directed the IPA to create this portal in collaboration with the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and other state agencies. So if we scroll back up, again, you can see the tabs at the top, again, have a spot for people who are employers working for companies looking to hire in to meet the minimum equity standard. We have a tab for people who are looking for jobs in the clean energy economy. Then we have some announcements. So this will be updates to requirements, announcements of from DCEO regarding new workforce training programs. And then if you go to the resources page, I just want to quickly hover and show what's here. So if we scroll down, you can see some resources that are helpful for people who are looking to learn more. So we have a fact sheet on just the general equity requirements in our programs. We have an interactive map where you can put in your address to see if you qualify as an equity eligible person. We'll go through these in detail in a moment. And then we have an FAQ. We have a space for those who are looking to qualify as equity eligible contractors. And we also have an inventory of the currently running workforce training programs that would qualify someone as an equity eligible contractor. So why don't we start by going up and going to the For Employers page, and we'll start there. So this is basically the main page that you will use if you are a clean energy company looking to hire people to meet the minimum equity standard. If you scroll down, we have some introductory information, links to our program websites, the legal definition of an equity eligible person. That's important for all employers to know. And then we have some tools for employers to actually use this portal to find equity eligible persons. So any company that wishes to post a job will first have to register on the site. This is a way to kind of make it easy for you to post multiple opportunities. So it makes the review of job postings faster if we know the company has already been vetted and verified as a real entity that is actually seeking to hire people. Marcus will be going over the actual application forms and the technical side of just how to attach documents, all of the various details about filling these things out, but I just want to call your attention to where they are. So once you've registered as a company, you can submit job postings that you have available, and you can also view the current list of persons that have certified as an equity eligible person through this site. So caveats on this list. This is only available to companies that have registered on this site. This is not a publicly available list because it includes personally identifiable information and potentially contact information for these individuals. So we don't want to make this publicly accessible. So that's another benefit to registering on this site. Another FYI about this list is that it is currently only equity eligible persons that are certified or are applying to become an equity eligible person through this portal. So this is not meant to guarantee that there will be every single person who qualifies as an equity eligible person in the entire state of Illinois listed on this list. We don't have that list. You know, there are a lot of different ways you can qualify. And so we're doing all we can to do outreach to communities and training programs that might serve people who qualify to get them to register through this site so that this list starts to grow. But I do want to just note that this will only represent those people who voluntarily come to this portal and request certification. So if you want to find out if your employees qualify, perhaps ask them to come to this site and go through the registration, the certification process to see whether they qualify as an equity eligible person. And then they can be on this list and you can kind of use that in meeting the MES. Great, so if we can scroll up and go to the For Job Seekers tab. If you are a person who is looking to find a job in the clean energy sector, You don't have to be an equity eligible person to get a job in the clean energy sector, right? But this portal is specifically meant to help those who do qualify as equity eligible persons navigate the process of finding a job, of finding a workforce training program to get the skills to make them qualified for those jobs. So that's really the target audience. You can scroll down and we'll see that there's again some background information, again, the legal definition of equity eligible person, so that you can see whether you would qualify. And then if we go down, similar to for companies, there are links to the actual applications for certification as an equity eligible person. There's a list of the job postings. So on the previous page, we saw the link for employers who want to post jobs. This is the board where you will see those jobs and we'll be able to contact those employers to apply for them. And there also is a listing of the currently running clean energy workforce training programs that are being administered or managed by DCEO. DCEO doesn't directly run the programs, they fund the programs. And so when you go to that link, actually, Marcus, can you just click on the learn more about clean energy workforce training programs? Yeah. So if you look here, this will kind of give you an overview of what these different programs are. So all of these names, Solar Training Pipeline Program, Clean Jobs Workforce Hubs Networks Program, those are all names for the funding sources. The actual names of the programs might depend on who the grantee is. So DCEO has this funding, they give out that money to workforce training entities, and then those entities might have a different name for their specific training program. So we just caution or encourage people to be really cognizant about making sure that if they are signing up for a workforce training program for the purpose of qualifying as an equity eligible person, that they kind of trace these links to make sure it's correct. In the future, this site will have a catalog of all of the training programs, not just by the funding source name, but the actual name of the training program from the training administrator available, so that it's a little bit easier to just see everything in one place. But right now we're in the process of gathering all that information and designing kind of an easy, user-friendly way to search for programs, filter them geographically, things like that. So hopefully that will be up soon. If you can go, actually stay here. So you'll see some links down here at the bottom. As I said, DCEO is setting out the funding for these workforce training programs. So that first link is actually going to take you to the DCEO website, where they have the contact information for the grantees for this current funding cycle. The next link that you see there, the job training directory page, that provides a list of programs currently available that includes some of the programs that will qualify you as an equity eligible person, but it's a little bit broader. So if you're an equity eligible person that qualifies based on one of the other qualifications, so you're formerly incarcerated or you were formerly in the foster care system, this is a great resource because this provides a lot of different workforce training programs that will give you the skills to enter the clean energy workforce, but not all of them would on their own qualify you as an equity eligible person. So again, that's kind of a nuance that we're trying to find the best way to communicate to audiences like yourselves. So, you know, hopefully that's clear and we'll have a better, more user-friendly way to find the workforce training program that fits your needs shortly on this website. Okay, let's go back up and go back to for job seekers. So if we scroll down, again, Marcus is going to go over the actual application form to register as an equity eligible person. But I did want to just go to this link here, equity investment eligible community, to show you the map that we have available. So this, oh, this actually goes to the FAQ. Okay. So if you scroll up, I think it's under resources then. Yeah, there it is. So this is the tool where you can find out whether your address qualifies you as an equity eligible person. So you can see all of the qualifying areas on this map in green. You can scroll, zoom in to look at specific areas. So if you don't have an address, but you kind of are looking at which communities might qualify, you can do it that way. And then you can also put in an exact address. So we can put in the zip code, and it will show you which areas of that zip code are equity eligible communities. So the other thing that's available, Marcus is putting someone's address in. Great, so that person lives in an equity investment eligible community. So that gives you confirmation that you would qualify as an equity eligible person. I think those are the main pieces that I wanted to go over. If you scroll up, let's just hover over the resources tab again. Oh, it's on the side there too, you can see. So this resources page will have this map, the FAQ, which provides a lot of definitions of some of the terminologies we've gone over. And then let's also go to the list of equity eligible contractors. That actually will take you to our Illinois Shines or Adjustable Block Program website, where you can either apply to become an equity eligible contractor or see the current list of equity eligible contractors that are already registered. And it gives kind of an overview of what that all means. Great, I think that was the main elements that I wanted to go over. I'm going to pass it over to Marcus so he can go through the actual application forms and kind of some of the more technical aspects of using the site.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me just pull up a different screen here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, give me 1 second. We're having some technical difficulties pulling this up here. All right, so whenever you click on the Clean Energy Company registration form, this form will pop up here. So it's going to ask you a couple questions to start off with. So first question is, are you an approved vendor, or do you have a designee ID? You can click either one of the check boxes, either yes or no. And if you do click yes, you're going to type in your information. Of course, after you type in all the information, this is going to go through a process of registering, approving. It may deny you. It may ask for, someone may ask for more information from you, but this will be the process that you'll go through. So you'll click yes or no. If you do click yes, just remember this is a required field to fill out. It'll go through your company type. If you do click other, you can always type in a different company type if it doesn't show up in the drop down here for you. You can also type in your company name. That is a required field. If you want to type in a company website, this will help us identify you better. Your contact information will go in the next fields. So your first name, your last name, telephone number, and your email address. And if you have any documents that will help us register you, you can always click on the file upload field here. So that's the basic for the company registration form. Once you are approved and become approved to post jobs on the website, you can go to the Clean Energy Job Submission form that you'll find on the website as well. You'll type in the approved designee ID that you have, or if you didn't have one and you received a registration ID, you can put that in the field here. The job title. If you have a website to go to apply for the position, you can always put it here. Any type of payment information that you can, either the dollar per hour, if it's a contract based or a salary based. Scope of work is just a brief description of the job itself. The region that the job is posted. You have all the regions of Illinois. You also have, if it's a statewide, if it does cover more than one region. Also, if it's a remote position. So city and county of the job location, as well as the type of job, is a full-time, part-time, or contract. Job duration and benefits offered, and are wraparound services available. These fields are not required. Just so you know, anything with an asterisk is required. Job listing duration, how long do you want the job to stay posted on our website? And if you have the job description in a PDF or any other information that you want to upload for the job, you can upload in the file, upload here. Also, we're going to require that you put in the email that you use to register your company. Also put that in here so that we can verify that this is the right company that registered in the beginning. So that'll be the Clean Energy Job Submission form. Next, we'll go over the Equity Eligible Job Seekers form. So if anybody comes in and they want to verify that they're EEP, they can fill out this information here. It'll be basic information: first name, last name, email address, city and state. What regions are they available to work? What shift they prefer working? List of any key skills that they may have. Again, if you click other, they have a form to type in any other information. So, and then what qualifies you as an EEP? So you'll go through and click whatever drop or whatever box here that qualifies you. If you do click on it, you will have an attestation at the bottom just to verify that you are providing correct information. This is for all of the fields. So if you do click all of them, you'll see the attestation for all of them. If you do click on, which one is it? If you do click on the workforce development attestation, let me just uncheck all of these here. You will have another field that comes out that'll ask for the name of the workforce training program that you did attend, the date, and the location. And we'll just uncheck those. So then we'll go into, are you a North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioner? You can click yes or no. If you need to see a definition or go to the website, you can click on website here. If you are a qualified person and you are contained in the Illinois Commerce Commissions, you can always click yes or no and then click on the website here. If you are a union member, you can click yes or no. If you do click no, you can just continue with the rest of the form, or you can click yes. and then it'll ask for union information here. And then your personal identified information. With all of these, you do have the option to click do not self-identify or not disclose for both gender and race or ethnicity. And if you have a resume or any other proof that you want to upload, you can always upload it here. And then a final attestation and then submit. Again, this also goes through an approval process. And then the approver will ask for more information if needed. They'll deny the person or approve the person, and they'll receive that information. So then, sorry, then we'll go over to the Clean Energy Equity job listing, the actual where you'll see all the jobs listed here. So you'll go to this dashboard. You'll see all the information, all the jobs that have been listed so far. You can scroll to the left or right. You can see if there's a website that has been put in for the person to go to and register on the website. You can scroll up or down depending on how many job listings there are and that have been approved. After the job has been posted and filled, it'll drop down to the field here just so people can see that the jobs are being filled and people are taking the jobs. Looking over the channel. So that's the basics for the registration, the company registration, the EEP registration, and the job submission registration forms, and also the dashboard to view all of the positions. I am going to give this back to Mega to continue with the presentation.
Thanks, Marcus. We have gotten some questions, and I'm going to go ahead and read these questions out loud. Do employers actually have the ability to, once they post a job, do they have the ability to remove or alter their postings? This question came directly to me from Kevin.
Yes, you can change your posting. You would send an email to you during the registration and the job submission. You'll see you'll get an email. If you send a reply to that email, then we are able to change the posting of the job. It's a case-by-case scenario.
Okay, thanks. Then there is another question. I think this is for Sarah. How is portal participation shaping up both for EEPs as well as for businesses?
Yeah, so right now we have not that many equity eligible persons registered. We have 2 approved and 1 pending review. Part of that is just doing continuous outreach on our part, which we're working on. We have attended numerous union events. We are going to events hosted by DCEO with all of the workforce training programs. We're going to one of those on April 12th. We'll be doing another one on April 21st. And we are also going to start working with community-based organizations that work with some of these populations to start funneling people into this portal. You know, we are a small agency, so we're doing everything that we can. We brought someone on just a couple of months ago to focus on these outreach efforts, and we're growing our DEI staff. So that is definitely something that we will continue to work on. In terms of the company participation, I believe we have maybe 15 companies registered or somewhere about in that range. And then we have a fair number of postings for job positions. I think maybe at least 1 per company that has registered. So that's how it's going so far. We're really hoping that this continues to develop, and that's why we're doing events like today. And hopefully this can grow into a really useful tool for everyone.
Thanks, Sarah. This is a question from Marcus, from Melissa. As an approved vendor, how can I view the list of equity eligible persons? When clicking on the link currently, I receive an error stating that you're not shared to this view. You're currently not shared in the dynamic view. Please contact the owner of this dashboard.
Yeah, so when you do click on the link here, it does open up a new tab that will take you to this dashboard. So if you are not registered yet and not an approved vendor yet, this is what you'll see as a public facing dashboard here. So you'll see, again, what Sarah mentioned, we do have 2 approved and 1 pending. And then this will be the list of where you'll see the EP information. Through the registration process, you do have to be registered with a Smartsheet account that will set up. Basically, you'll sign in, and then we'll allow you to view this dashboard here, or this portion of the dashboard here. But because of the nature of the information, we don't want everybody to just be able to click on the website and see this. So there is a process that you will have to go through.
Marcus, can I just hop in to Melissa's question? Just to clarify, when you say you're in a registered and approved vendor, there is a separate registration for using this portal, because it's open not just to Illinois Shines or ABP approved vendors, it's also open to utility scale companies and other entities outside of ABP. And so even though you're an approved vendor within ABP, you still have to register on the website in order to view the list of equity eligible persons. So I'm not sure. Okay, so you registered using the portal. Then it sounds like perhaps it's actually a technical issue. So can you, I would actually, Marcus, you might want to reach out to her and figure out what's going on, because it looks like she has registered for the portal and should have access. So maybe we can figure out what's going on with her account specifically.
Yeah, I can take a look at that. Yeah.
Thanks, Marcus. Thanks, Sarah. Again, we will try to get to all these questions, but this training was also just scheduled for half hour, so we'll get to most of the questions. And for any additional questions, please go ahead and reach out to Sarah and Marcus directly for any additional questions or follow-up questions. Really quickly, one question from Daniel: can current employees register simply to determine if they meet the EEP requirements without posting their information onto the list?
I thought I answered that in the chat, but yes. Oh, maybe I started answering it and didn't actually hit enter, but yes. So you can direct your employees to the portal and they can fill out the form to get certified, so that you don't have to handle any of that sensitive information. If you don't want to feel like maybe they might not feel comfortable disclosing whether they were formerly incarcerated or not. This is a way to allow them to certify themselves, signal to you that they are certified without them having to disclose the basis of that eligibility. They will be asked if they would like their information to be made visible to other companies, so they can always decline that.
Thanks, Sarah. I think this is really quickly a follow-up question from Kevin about altering, the job posting once you enter as a clean energy company. His question was, will the capability be added to change or remove your own posting rather than just emailing the agency when we want to make a change? Is that something, we can look into? I guess that's the question. Or does Smartsheet, does it have the capability to do that, Marcus?
As of right now, it doesn't. That is something that we have been trying to develop as well. A way for you to actually be able to just log in yourself and change any posting that you put up. But right now, the only way to do it is to email us so we can change it for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Then we'll take one last question from Leslie. Have there been any rejections of EEPs? I mean, I guess what would be the criteria for any, if somebody is
Yeah.
registering as an EEP, like under what criteria can that be, rejected?
Yeah. So I'm not actually going to touch on whether we have rejected any applications, just because that's I'm not going to discuss specific applications, but I would say that potential ways you might fail to get certified, or things that we actually might reach out to applicants for more information on. So if you are saying that you qualify based on participation or graduation from an eligible workforce training program, but you failed to upload a document showing that you participated in that program. Or if you are claiming residency in a specific equity investment eligible community, but you provided a driver's license that shows a different address than you're claiming as your primary residence. So anything where the documentation you provide does not verify the basis for claiming equity eligible status.
Yep, thanks, Sarah. That was great. I think you've answered a lot of the questions already, and it is 12:38. So we want to, on behalf of the Illinois Power Agency, we want to thank you all for participating in our training. Like I mentioned earlier, a copy of this recording and the presentation will be available on the IPA website under Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion page. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to Marcus and Sarah. They have both provided their email addresses here in the chat. Thank you so much for attending today's webinar. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sarah and Marcus.
Thank you.